Alrighty, NBL fans, 2 games on the slate on New Year's Eve. One that is absolutely tantalizing. The other one, you probably would have put yourself to bed at 7:30 if it wasn't the last day of the year. But before we get into it, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, comment, share, all that jazz. Now, let's break them down. We start with the good, end with the bad. Illawarra versus Southeast Melbourne. 2 of these teams are on absolute fire, really. Illawarra's lost just 1 of their last 7 games, while Southeast Melbourne have won 2 games in a row and have won 4 of their last 5. So 2 teams that are really, really strong at the moment in the NBL and are going head to head. Now, the line here is pretty hefty at 8.5 points, with the Illawarra Hawks, the top of the table team, as the favourite, of course. Now, here at Bets, we believe ultimately that the Hawks are going to win this game, but that line is way too juicy. Southeast Melbourne have been extremely good defensively under Josh King, although when they did play the Illawarra Hawks last, it did turn into a bit of a shootout. We can maybe see that repeat itself, but Southeast Melbourne's defence will be able to keep this one close, considering that they actually did pip the Hawks last time they did play. So we certainly like Southeast Melbourne to cover in this one. And you would expect, though, that Trey Kell is going to have a big game, especially if it turns into that shootout style. Trey Kell has been on absolute fire lately for the Hawks, and him 25 plus points in this one is too good to pass. Now, game 2, you have New Zealand versus Cairns. Cairns on a 14-game losing streak. New Zealand on an 8-game losing streak. And boy, oh boy, yeah, if New Zealand didn't have problems already, they've got problems now with Parker Jackson Cartwright being suspended for 5 games. Look, this period for New Zealand is extremely crucial. They've got a few winnable games over the next round or 2. Then they go into a really tough stretch against the top teams in the league. So is key for them to win here, but unfortunately, I just see their season falling apart, and Cairns will finally break this 14-game skid against the New Zealand Breakers. Look, New Zealand have been pretty awful on both offense and defense. They've given up 103.3 points on average per game in this 8-game losing streak, and I think you'll look for Cairns to really capitalize. Rob Edwards was really hot before the Taipans met Melbourne last weekend and had actually 3 20-plus point games in a row. I'm backing Rob Edwards here to have another big one. He's going to smell blood and thrive in these conditions. New Zealand are the 9th worst team against 3-pointers in the NBL. So look for Rob Edwards to shoot a lot from the perimeter, which he has done, but have a little bit higher success because he's going to get better looks against the Breakers. So Rob Edwards to drop 3 threes in this one, score 20-plus points, and I even like the New Zealand Breakers under their team total of 85.5 points. They've just been averaging 84 points per game in this last 8-game stretch with Parker Jackson Cartwright. So like that one on the under as well. The line here is also huge at 7.5 points in favor of Cairns, which I am not going to touch. You just never know what's going to happen in these games. It could be a close one, could be a blowout, either way. All we know here is, to back the props, and that's the safer way in a contest like this. So they're your tips for New Year's Eve. Have some big celebrations, drink responsibly, gamble responsibly, and happy punting.